For over 35 years, the Cacciatore family has provided state-of-the-art auto collision repairs. V&J Autobody is not only certified to repair all makes and models, V&J is one of the few auto body repair shops certified by Tesla to repair and recalibrate their own automobiles, as well as other electric and hybrid vehicles. Detailed repairs combined with award-winning concierge service makes V&J the only choice for your collision repair needs. V&J will pick up your automobile wherever on Long Island you are, provide you with a rental, and deliver your vehicle when the job is complete. Too good to be true? Visit VJAutobody.com. That's VJAutobody.com. Come over and meet the crew. VJ Autobody's 2 state-of-the-art facilities are equipped with the latest technologies in auto repair. Let V&J communicate with your insurance company for you and deliver back to you a detailed, perfectly repaired vehicle. Contact V&J Autobody by visiting VJAutobody.com or call 631-226-0070. That's 631-226-0070. Well, hello again, everyone out there on the Long Island, Suffolk County, Nassau County, Fruited Plains, Long Island. Welcome to the one and only Crash Course Radio with your humble host, Peter Crouch, having more fun than should be legally allowed, as always. Hey, and this is a live show, 631-451-1039 if you want to be part of the show today, if you have something to offer, something to ask. Maybe you're involved with an insurance claim right now and you're scratching your head. You don't know if you're getting the shaft, so to speak. All right, well, that's what we're here for. All right, you call in. We're going to help you out. Don't forget, we're going to go through the rundown here as always. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, and YouTube. All right, been working on a lot of that stuff for quite a while, and thanks to my amazing social media manager, Anthony. All right, we are cranking away on stuff like that. He's also doubles as the engineer for me during the show. So really cool stuff. Again, folks, Instagram, I can't stress enough. Follow me on Instagram. Go to Instagram, Crash Course Radio. It's a really great venue for me. I like to jump in there. I can get right to the folks. I do a lot of cool videos there. All right, and those videos end up in many other spots as well. But follow us on Instagram. Again, 631-451-1039. All right, Crash Course Radio is, of course, the radio show dedicated to promoting and supporting the privately owned and operated, and we make that distinction very clear here on Crash Course Radio every Tuesday afternoon, because as I've said before, there is a clear distinction, folks. All right, but we are here to support and promote the privately owned and operated Autobody industry across the Fruited Plains of Long Island. All right, but more importantly, because I get to speak to you folks every Tuesday here behind this mic, which I love to do, I look forward to that. We are educating, all right, the consumer, right? We like to say, if you've been listening to me for a while now, you know the mantra. We're giving you information and knowledge you need and can use and advice you can trust, and that is very true. We've helped dozens of people from our inception. We've been at this over a year now. We'll be here for another year, all right? And we've helped people in all aspects, okay, from claim problems, liability issues, questions on liability, improving their recovery on a total loss, as well as, of course, most significantly, putting people in touch with body shops that are going to look out for their interests and not the interests of the insurance company, right? Really, 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 really important stuff, and we've dedicated many shows to talking about that. So we're going to have a real exciting show today. We have a guest in the house, all right, Steve from Thriftway Autobody. Welcome, Steve. And we're going to talk to Steve here in just a bit. Real excited about that. We're going to chew the fat on quite a bit of things here, and we'll see how many of those topics we can get through. All right. Anyway, I just got to get this out. All right. I saw this last night on Instagram. All right. I had other things that I wanted to get off my chest here, but I got to get this one off, folks. All right. Hey, I want to give a shout out, first of all, to Bill. Bill was our winner last week on the question of the day. Bill, your stuff is on its way, buddy. I promise. All right. Got a little bit of logistical snags there. You know, I got I'm in charge in the mail room, the promotional room, sound effects here in the studio. You know, shoestring budget, Bill. But rest assured, your stuff is on the way. All right. So appreciate you calling in last week, and Bill got the answer right to that question. We're going to get to the question of the day today, of course, and we'll see who else wants to win some really cool stuff. We got the smartest listeners on the airway right here, Crash Course Radio. And as I was saying, as I sidetracked myself, so Instagram, you know, remember what I said? I always like to say I read the things you don't want to read and listen to the things you don't want to listen to. Well, found this Instagram post called Cool Kids. I don't know what it's about. It's not important. but he's chewing the fat and going on and on about a little thing, an insurance app. Okay, folks, I think I touched on this once before. All right, but it bears mentioning again. So he was all excited to let all his young gurus know about this insurance app that basically tracks everything you do. All right. Now, the insurance company is going to use the carrot and the stick on this. Okay. They're going to tell you, hey, load this app up and let us track everything you do in your car. And, we're going to maybe give you a discount on insurance. Right. Carrot and the stick. Sounds great. All right. But you need to really think these things through, folks. I mean, at a minimum, you're giving up your privacy. All right. That's what you're doing. All right. At a minimum, you're allowing a third party, in this case, a corporation, all right, to basically look at your personal life, all right? So really think seriously about these things, all right? I know it sounds cool and it's all, looks great and wow, this is cool, man. I get this app and, and the kid's going on how it tracks your speed and it tracks, what road you're driving on, whether you're at the speed limit, how often you're at the speed limit, you're braking, you're turning, steering radius, how aggressively you brake, and it even, I think now with the advancements, I think it's even able to, track things like, how often you go a certain distance to certain places. It's all bad, folks. Good for the insurance company, not too good for us. All right, so carrot and the stick. Remember, it sounds good, and then, the old adage your mom used to tell you, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Trust me. Listen, I worked for these guys for 25 years, all right? So I tell you this. Anything the insurance company does is most likely benefiting them more than it benefits us. Yeah, there's going to be a benefit there, right? I mean, sure, they'll give you a 5-10% discount on your insurance. Sounds great again, but think about the other things, right? I know this guy was touting it. The insurance companies, they want to insure good drivers. So if you let them do this, they're going to realize you're a good driver. Well, that's true until you're not. Now what? Right? Too late. Now you're not a good driver. And what defines not a good driver? You had a rough day, you had an emergency, you had to go pick up your kid from school, it was just on lockdown, you got all worked up, you took off, and you're doing 70 and a 50? Well, I don't know. Went over the speed limit. So, not good. All right? Really. I can't stress it enough, folks. This is the kind of stuff here that we have to be very careful about in this new age and new Constrati world that we're living in, right? Technology, all right? But it has a very nefarious way of chipping away at our privacy, all right? And this is certainly one of those things. Look, insurance companies, they develop the tools, okay? They led the way on the tools to sufficiently, well, what could I say about risk, all right? So they developed the tools necessary, all right, to make sure that the risks that they were willing to insure, all right, was properly measured. All right. So they don't need an app to track everything you're doing. All right. This is just something else. Folks, and remember what I said about insurance companies? They're data driven. Data driven. All right. That's what they do. They just crunch data. So this is another way for them to capture a lot of numbers and a lot of data points and crush those all together. And guess what's going to happen down the road? They're going to use all that data to what? Not help us. All right, they're going to tell you it's going to help you. You're going to save money. Okay. For how long? Well, don't worry about that. We'll tell you how long. You just be a good boy or girl and you let us track everything you do and you'll get that discount and then you'll be saving some money. Oh, okay. Forever? Well, we didn't say forever. It's more like until they figure out that you don't need to save money anymore, right? So not good stuff. All right, let's stay away from that. Or at least really let's think that through. As I said, at a minimum, okay, it's a privacy issue. Okay, at a maximum, you can talk to an attorney about that. There's a whole other host of problems that could probably be there. All right, so we got about 1 minute and 40 seconds here. As I said, exciting. We have Steve here today in the studio live. Folks, this is a live show. You can call us 631-451-1039 if you want to get involved with the show. All right, if you have anything that you want to add, any ideas, things you might want to see us cover on the show, we are expanding our topic format here. All right. And we're going to be working toward that goal in about another 2 weeks. I'll be having a guest in here to talk about Long Island drag strip. Pretty cool stuff. All right. He was on the commission that got that established. All right. So about a minute left. And like I said, we're going to talk to Steve in the next segment. And we're going to address a lot of different topics here. All right. I don't know if we're going to get to all of them, Steve. We're going to do the best we can. All right. So a couple of things we want to look at. All right. What influences a positive outcome in the negotiating process? What are the roadblocks and challenges? Customer experience, how do we frame it? And overcoming perceptions. All right. And finally, certifications. All right. Are they good, bad for the customer, for the industry, or both? All right. So some of the things we're gonna talk about here together. Steve and I know each other professionally and personally for many years, so it should make for a good conversation. All right. And well, we'll be back in a little bit, and we'll see everybody on the other side of the break.
A little higher.
All right, welcome back, everyone, to Crash Course Radio, Long Island's first and only radio show dedicated to supporting and promoting the privately owned and operated auto body industry here across the great fruited plains of Long Island. Welcome to Crash Course Radio, folks. I am your host, Peter Krausch. All right, and this is a live show. If you'd like to be part of the show, 631-451-1039. Again, you can find us Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, and, of course, YouTube. If you're the podcasting type of folks, well, then go to Spotify because you can find us there as well. All right, and you get a little bit of a different show there, right? A little bit of a different aspect. Hey, we also got some good news. All right, we're going to be available to be heard on Sunday afternoons now, and that's going to be a rerun of the show. All right, so this is a live show. So if you hear any kind of contests that we're running, all right, Santa Claus is always in the house here at Crash Course Radio. We love to give free stuff away. All right, so just be aware that the Sunday show will be a rerun. All right, a re-show of the live show today. So. We don't want to confuse the folks out there, all right? But we're real psyched about that. So you'll be able to hear the show again Sunday afternoon. If you heard something that you liked and you're scratching your head, wow, I don't know. I mean, you can find that on Spotify too. But now you'll be able to hear us again on Sunday afternoon, all right? And you know what? We're gonna turn things up right before we get to Steve here, all right? We're doing, we do the question of the day, right? That's the contest. Well, we're going to start things off right now, get people scratching their heads and getting their thinking caps on. So ready? Here's the question of the day, folks. I want somebody to call in, give us an answer to this. It's free stuff, cool stuff. All right, so my insurance company is telling me that I am not at fault. All right, so you had an accident, you call your insurance company, and they're telling you, well, you're not at fault, and that I should file a claim with the person who hit me. All right, but I want to use my insurance. Can they do this? All right, so you got in an accident. You call your insurance company, and the insurance rep turns around and tells you, it's really not your fault. Seems like it's 100% on the other guy. You should really file a claim through the other guy. You don't need to file insurance through us. Can they do that? All right. Of course, I know the answer. All right. And there is a right answer, folks. All right. There's a right answer by Reg 64, by New York State statute, and there's a right answer by ethics, too, ethically speaking. All right. So, come on. Somebody call in 631-451-1039. Let's hear an answer. We want to give away some free stuff today. All right. And let's get right to our guest today here. Steve, he's just biting at the bit over here to get going.
I'm chomping away.
The mic close.
Hey, Pete.
All right, so Steve, welcome to Crash Course Radio. So tell the folks a little bit about yourself and about Thriftway Autobody and how the folks can get a hold of you and your team over there.
Hey, Pete, thanks for having me.
No problem.
Yeah, my name is Stephen Pasilka, and I'm one of the owners of Thriftway Autobody in beautiful, sunny village of Lindenhurst.
Oh, of course, downtown village, baby.
Our phone number is 631-226-1160, and stop on by.
Okay, and where is that? Is that off of Wellwood, Auburn
That's
Street?
right off of Wellwood on Auburn Street,
Okay.
10 Auburn Street.
So that would be the village.
Yeah.
The village of the beautiful village of Lindenhurst. All right, great. And so what's your experience? What do you bring to the table over there? What about your team?
My experience, I've been in this business for close to 18 years now. Pretty much did everything on every side of the fence. I worked for a bunch of body shops, a bunch of insurance companies. I've owned a national franchise for independent appraisals. I've done it all.
All right,
done
folks.
it all.
See, I want. That's great. I want to, folks. Remember what I said here about Crash Course Radio, right? And also, of course, Collision Services Network, right? I am the owner and creator of Collision Services Network. Now, Thriftway, Autobody, and Steve, they are a member. They are one of our network shops. All right. And what do I always say about our network shops? Folks, you only get the best. All right. You go to collisionservicesnetwork.com, and these are the type of people. What did Steve just say? Listen to the wealth and the background of knowledge, information, experience he has. Right. He's worked in the insurance industry. He's actually had his own adjusting company. All right, and he's been in the body shop side as well. So this is the depth and type of people, all right, and businesses that you're going to deal with, all right, when you need to find a reputable professional auto body shop. That's why you go to collisionservicesnetwork.com, and Steve at Thriftway and his team, they're going to take really good care of you, and they're going to represent your interests, not the interests of the insurance company. Isn't that true, Steve?
Of course, absolutely.
Right. So now, Steve, we're going to talk about a couple of things here. First, we want to talk about the customer experience challenge, all right? So, I've spoken to the folks about this. Unlike mechanical repairs, which are, kind of a need-to industry, body repairs are kind of like an as-needed industry, right? We have a challenge with that all the time. All right, and this sets up a perception for most people about the auto body repair as a negative experience. All right, so what that means is, what I'm saying to Steve is, for our industry, because it's not a need-to business, right? It's not like the guy's going to need brakes or an oil change. All right, our business is a as-needed. You got in an accident, now it's like, I got to get my car fixed, blah, blah, blah. All right, so how do you and your team overcome this and help to change the outcome and perception of customers, right? Try and get them to have a more of a positive outlook on the industry and also, obviously, your company, but, with the body experience itself.
Well, look, this industry's, everybody's got their way of doing business. We don't advertise.
Okay.
Everything that comes through our business is pretty much word of mouth.
Right.
Only the highest quality product, only the highest quality parts, no aftermarket, no used. You got to put your best foot forward. I mean, and people see that, and then
And you would say your shop is a customer warrior, right? You guys are customer warriors.
Yeah, 100%.
You're putting the interests of your customer ahead of your interests. You're representing.
Our business only survives if the customer is happy.
Right. All right, folks. So, what we're talking about here is changing the perception, all right? A lot of people have a perception here with our industry. They hear body shop, and right away they think about, the guy around the corner, he's, gluing everything and plastic and stuff like that, right?
That's insurance company marketing right there.
That's insurance company marketing. Yeah, it could be, right? It really could be. But unfortunately, insurance company marketing is very powerful, and they get to a lot of people a lot sooner than we do, correct?
Bigger reach than us.
Right, very big reach. So, for Steve and I, all right, it's a constant challenge, all right, and what Steve just said is the way that we change that perception is by letting people know whether our customers, or in the case of Crash Course Radio, speaking to the folks out there, and giving people unbiased, unfiltered information, and letting them know, explaining the process and explaining what really goes on in a professional establishment, right? Which is what Thriftway is, folks. Thriftway Autobody, I can't stress enough, it is the quintessential family business atmosphere there, right? This shop, you can eat off the floor there. I mean, I know.
I appreciate that. We take a lot of pride in how that shop looks.
Yeah, it really is, Steve. I love it, man. It's just it's a very, very, very well-run shop, very attractive shop. You walk into Thriftway and you just get a warm feeling right away. It's a very embracing environment. And I know Steve and his team, I know that's part of what they strive to do. Is that correct?
The warm feeling is mostly Linda. She makes everybody warm and fuzzy.
She does. I mean, I know Linda for many years as an insurance adjuster. She's terrific. All right, so that's a little bit of an outlook there on an angle on customer perception, right, in our business. All right, it's basically negative, but we need to be aware of that and try and develop ways on an industry level and also on with your business, right? As Thriftway's got to find a way to change that perception, right? Your customers come in, it's the first time they're involved in an accident. So how do you go about how do you handle that customer?
When we get all of our customers, everything's very personal with our customers. We text them updates all the time. They know what's going on with their car at all time. They have access to their cars at any time. We don't want to make it feel like the car's gone, and then when it's done, it's done. And a lot of the times, body shops will keep cars for a long time. We don't,
so communication is paramount at Thriftway, folks. All right. So what Steve is saying there is, you go to Steve, he's going to fix your car, but he's also going to make sure that you're involved in the process, all right? You don't drop your car off and it's, you hear crickets for the next 2 weeks until Steve, calls you and says, hey, your car's done, all right? And that's good stuff, all right? And then again, folks, this is a paramount difference in just a body shop that's out there. You throw a dart at the wall versus if you go to collisionservicenetwork.com and you're gonna be able to find somebody like Steve and Thriftway, all right? All right, good stuff. Unfortunately, I can't believe we're finishing up another segment. I tell you, time flies here, folks. We have a blast. All right, we're going to be continue our conversation with Steve on the other side of the break. All right, so stay with us. For over 35 years, the Cacciatore family has provided state-of-the-art auto collision repairs. V&J Autobody is not only certified to repair all makes and models, V&J is one of the few auto body repair shops certified by Tesla to repair and recalibrate their own automobiles, as well as other electric and hybrid vehicles. Detailed repairs combined with award-winning concierge service makes V&J the only choice for your collision repair needs. V&J will pick up your automobile wherever on Long Island you are, provide you with a rental, and deliver your vehicle when the job is complete. Too good to be true? Visit VJAutobody.com. That's VJAutobody.com. Come over and meet the crew. VJ Autobody's 2 state-of-the-art facilities are equipped with the latest technologies in auto repair. Let V&J communicate with your insurance company for you and deliver back to you a detailed, perfectly repaired vehicle. Contact V&J Autobody by visiting VJAutobody.com or call 631-226-0070. That's 631-226-0070. All right, welcome back, everyone, to the show that is the show of shows, Crash Course Radio, and I am your host, Peter Krausch, and this is a live show. Folks, we are here every Tuesday afternoon from 3 to 4 live, and if you want to be on the show or call in, if you have some issues that you're dealing with, you want to make sure you're being dealt with the right way, maybe you just had a fender bender and you're thinking about calling your insurance company and you're not really sure what to do, give us a call, 631-451-1039. Brings you into the studio here and talk to little old me. We also got a guest today in the studio, Steve from Thriftway Autobody. Folks, I want to throw out the question of the day. My insurance company is telling me that I am not at fault for the accident I just got in. That's great, right? Yippee. But then they're telling me that I shouldn't really be filing a claim with them. I should file with the other guy. There's no reason to use them. Can they do that? All right. I know the answer, of course, because I am the guru here. But I don't know. It's a serious question, folks. And let me tell you, okay, this goes on a lot. All right. And the answer is only one answer. And the answer is codified in New York State through insurance law and the regulation. All right. So you got in an accident. You're not at fault. That's great. And the insurance company tells you, you shouldn't really file a claim with us, though. You should go through the other guy. All right. Can they do that? All right. Can they tell you that? Give us a call, 631-451-1039. You're going to win some cool stuff, including $10 gift card to Dunkin' Donuts. Hey, we spared no expense here at Crash Course Radio. Santa Claus is in the house all year long. All right, so let's continue our conversation with Steve from Thriftway Autobody. Steve is with Thriftway Autobody, located in downtown, beautiful village of Lindenhurst, over there on Auburn Street. All right, they are a quintessential family-oriented business, and they will make you feel like family when you walk into that shop. All right, Steve and his team.
We sure hope so.
We know so. Steve and his team will do the right thing for you from start to finish. They will walk the walk with you from beginning to the end. All right. So on that note, Steve, let's continue our conversation with our amazing business that we are involved with here.
Yes, let's.
Let's talk about the negotiating process.
My favorite.
Yeah, it's all of our favorites, right? We love that. So negotiating process, what's your approach to this to ensure the best outcome for your customer? And what are some of the roadblocks and challenges you feel might affect the outcome? That's a loaded question, huh?
Yeah,
a lot going on there.
Well, all right. So the negotiating process is fairly simple for us. It's by the book. That's it.
Okay.
Your manufacturer, whether it be American, foreign, they all have processes and repair procedures in place. We follow that to the dot. and that's it.
Okay.
So the problem that we have when we negotiate with insurance companies and alike is education. They are, a lot of the times, the people who come to inspect the vehicles, they don't have the proper education. They're not provided the proper education, where they come in and they just want to cut to the minimum. And that's not really how it works. If you drive a BMW and BMW wants a specific operation done to your vehicle,
correct,
after a loss, it has to be done. I mean, regardless whether you like it or not, it has to be done.
Right.
So, a lot of the times where when I'm writing a car, when I have a car in front of me and I'm doing an estimate, we go through multiple books to BMW's got all data, and we call the dealer and we say, hey, we're replacing this. Is there anything else that needs to go along with it? And a lot of the times, the insurance appraisers will come in and they'll say, well, I can't allow for that, or my supervisor won't allow for that, or my manager doesn't want me to do this, or we don't pay for that, which is a very loaded response,
right.
Because how do you say we don't? You didn't build the car.
Correct.
You're not fixing the car.
Correct.
6 months ago, before you worked for X insurance company, you were selling mattresses or working at a movie theater, and now you're telling us, who are fixing the cars and putting our customers back on the road,
right,
that we can't do a certain procedure for them, or we're not allowed to get paid for it. And a lot of the times, they want the customer to foot the bill.
Okay, well, that's true. Right. The end all here, folks, and we've talked about that here on Crash Course Radio. Right? I'm talking to Steve here from Thriftway Autobody in Lindenhurst. He's one of our Collision Services Network partners.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what we're talking about is the negotiation process, right? And here is where we separate, all right, the men from the boys, or we separate the herd, all right, so to speak, because me and Steve, I work for V&J Autobody, right? Full disclosure. I tell everybody that all the time here on this show, right? I'm not just a talking head or an academic. I actually work in the industry. I have to deal with this on a daily basis. All right, and one of the things that both Steve and I are confronted with all the time is insurance adjusters. Some of them, no fault of their own. I mean, they just, listen, they work there. We get that.
Look, if they're told one
right.
thing and they have to come in and we're telling them another, I understand it, but...
Right, but how do we overcome that? Because that's where...
Documentation.
All right, folks, you hear that? Documentation. And also skill. When you say there's a lot of skill involved, right? Our experience, 100%, our knowledge base.
100%.
Folks, it's psychology as much as it is technology. All right, that's what I like to say. All right, the job, me and Steve, the things that we have to do when it comes to negotiating with your insurance company is probably 80% psychology, 20% technology, right? So when you go to Thriftway Autobody, Steve is going to negotiate, okay, from a position of strength. He's going to be negotiating to make sure, all right, that he represents your interests. And what does that mean? What Steve just said. If there's a procedure, if there's a position statement, then Steve's going to make sure that they know about it. Isn't that correct?
If that's the way you bought the car from the factory, then that's the way the car's going to get repaired.
Folks, you hear that? That's the way the car's going to get repaired. How many times have I talked about insurance company sponsored shops, right? The DRP, very bad for the consumer, good for the insurance company, not too good for us. All right, and very bad for our industry. So what Steve just said there, all right, is that despite what him and I may come up against, all right, and this is what I mean about roadblocks, all right, we may get insurance companies that say, well, we don't allow for that, we don't pay for that, or we only pay so much of this, or well, that's a expense of your business. Regardless of that, though, all right, now correct me if I'm wrong here, all right, and this is what I'm saying to the folks here about what separates us, okay, us being the independent and privately owned operated guys versus the insurance sponsored guys, folks. What Steve is saying here is, irregardless, okay, through the negotiating process, Steve is going to make sure that your car is fixed according to manufacturing industry standards.
Correct.
Right? Plain simple, folks. Now we'll deal with the aftermath, right?
Yeah,
let's say you get an adjuster and you're at an impasse with this guy, all right, or this girl, okay, and whatever it is, either they're new or they're just they're waving the company flag and they think they're moving up the ladder that way. At the end of the day, though, you will get that car returned to pre-loss condition with all required procedures and processes, right?
Yeah, 100%. Right. The car gets fixed the way the car has to get fixed. If I have to call them back 1.5 million times, I'm going to do so.
Correct.
It's. I'll be honest with you. Like I said, if it's black and white, there's paperwork that states how cars should be repaired.
Absolutely.
We go by that. At the end of the day, if they don't want to pay for it, we're just going to keep moving forward. I'm not going to deviate from the manufacturer's guidelines just to appease somebody who's trying to save.
Right, but you're gonna protect your customers.
100%.
See, that's what we're getting at here, folks, with Steve. Okay, and that's why Steve is a Collision Services Network partner. Because remember, I stressed that there's a lot of shops, folks, a lot of body shops out there. All right, just like the doctors that graduated from medical school, they didn't all come out in the top 5%. Right. Well, guess what? Right, all those body shops out there, not fixing cars the right way. All right, and like I like to say, all right, if you have your car fixed with Steve, all right, Thriftway Autobody, and an issue comes up, any kind of issue, right? It could be something with the paint, could be something with the repair.
Don't call me. That's it.
yeah, don't call me. Yeah, lose my number. No, but seriously, folks, somebody like Steve is going to have your back, okay? He's going to advocate for you. He's going to get in front of the problem. And if it involves the insurance company, he's going to be there. He's going to represent your interests, all right? He's not going to run away from the problem or throw his hands in the air. Well, I don't know what to tell you. Isn't that correct, Steve?
100%.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, folks, big difference, all right? And again, this separates Thriftway Autobody from the rest of the herd out there. Okay, there's a body shop on every corner, but there's not a body shop that's fixing cars the right way, all right, according to industry standards and manufacturer, and most importantly, they're not looking out for your interests, folks, all right? They might be looking out for your interests to a certain point, but they're not going to want to fight the fight that they need to fight sometimes, all right? But you're going to get that with Steve over at Thriftway Autobody. All right, so that, wow.
That was fast.
That was fast. Another segment gone, all right, in the tank. All right, we will be coming back to the final segment of Crash Course Radio. I'll see you folks in just a bit.
The low rider is a little higher.
All right, welcome back, everyone, to the final segment of Crash Course Radio. And we've had Steve from Thriftway in the studio this afternoon. We've been having a real blast here. 631-451-1039. Come on, folks, let's go. I know somebody out there wants some free stuff, all right? I want to give away this $10 gift card to Dunkin' Donuts, all right? The insurance company just told you that you're not at fault for the accident, all right? Your company. But then in the same breath, they're telling you, you don't really need to come to us, though. You got to go to the other guy and file the claim. Can they do that? All right. Can they dissuade you from using your coverage? All right. There's a definitive answer to that. All right. And I bet you most folks don't really know what it is, or they have the wrong perception on that. So somebody give us a call out there, 631-451-1039. We want to give some stuff away. That's what we like to do here, Crash Course Radio. And don't forget, folks, go to collisionservicesnetwork.com, collisionservicesnetwork.com for all your auto body and affiliated industry needs. All right, we have some amazing personal injury attorneys on there, as well as auto and brokers, right? What do I like to say here at Crash Course? Shop your insurance frequently, folks. Find out what you're paying for, all right, and why you're paying for it. And if you have questions, then you go to our friends over at DKM Risk up in Hot Park, New York, and Lisa and her team are going to set you up, take care of you, and take a look at what you have, make sure you're paying for what you need, all right? All right, so let's get back with Steve here from Thriftway. Steve, why don't you give a quick shout out again? Where can the folks find you over there at Thriftway?
Hey, guys. Yeah, we are located in the village of Lindenhurst, 10 Auburn Street, 631-226-1160. Again, we are Thriftway Autobody.
All right, and you guys have your full-service concierge shop, right? Folks can get towing there. They can get towing, they can get rental,
cars, everything.
All right, folks, I told you, only the best here. Collision Service Network. We only partner with the best. All right, and certainly Thriftway Autobody is one of the best. All right, it's a full-service concierge shop, like Steve just said. It's going to take care of all your needs, fixing your car, as well as everything else that's involved with that. Rental, if you need to be driven somewhere, picked up. All right, they're the guys to see over there in Lindenhurst, Thriftway Autobody. All right, so let's finish up here. Listen, we have more fun than should be legally allowed, all right? And most importantly, though, this is what we love to do, right? Frustrating the heck out of the insurance guys with one arm tied behind my back. I tell you, I don't know how I do it sometimes, but we just enjoy it. So, got about 7 minutes left. Let's hit this one. This is a pretty broad topic, but something that I think is worth talking about. All right, so I want to talk about the present and future of the collision repair industry. All right. So, we have technical and human challenges that we are confronting now and in the future. All right. More specifically, things like EVs, all right, vehicle technology platforms, advanced vehicle structural and body materials, and most significantly, where is the next generation of workers coming from, right? How will we attract and capture and retain good employees? All right. There's a lot there. Let's try and unpack some of it. What do you think? I mean, how's Thriftway looking at that? How are they approaching that?
We've been pretty fortunate. We have a good crew.
Okay.
And
guys that stay with you?
Stay with us.
Good.
Highly trained guys. We give them anything that they need. So any type of new equipment that comes out, any new welders, anything like that can assist them and to move on and make life a little easier. We don't have a budget for that.
Folks, you hear that? I want to highlight that, what Steve just said. Very important point. All right. Once again, Thriftway Autobody. What did Steve just say? They make the investment, folks. He invests in his people and he invests in the equipment, the technology. All right. Again, a lot of shops out there. I can guarantee you, all right, because I was out there for many years. Most shops just can't. All right. They either can't or won't.
Yeah, things change, and it's either you keep up with the tech or you don't survive.
Right. So with that in mind, all right, like I said, there's a lot of challenges, right? I know I talk on this radio show about cars, right? The materials.
Yeah,
right?
The materials, mainly the computers in the cars. That's really what it's coming down to. A lot of the again with
technology platforms,
with the negotiating, where there's repair versus replace options, where we push to replace a lot of say plastic bumpers, where they want to repair it, and you can't really put bodywork and excessive amounts of paint on top of sensors because the blind spot sensors won't work correctly. There's a lot of things that go on with these cars that they have to be within. I mean, they're so close.
Correct. The specifications.
Yeah, the specs are so close that you can't. There's nothing to play around with.
Right.
And again, that comes down to
the different materials, right? We got, sometimes we might have 3 different materials on one car. We got to have aluminum, steel, and boron, right?
100%.
Right. And folks, you need to know what you're going to do with this stuff, all right?
You need to have the right equipment to repair
the right equipment and the knowledge.
Correct.
All right. And you also need, the most importantly, like Steve just highlighted here, you need to have the will, all right? You need to have the will to illuminate these things and articulate them to the insurance industry, all right? Right? Isn't that true? I mean, when you're negotiating, this is another thing we have, all right? And this is what I say about the future of our industry, okay? It keeps getting more complicated, more technical, all right? So we as body shop professionals, we have to confront this, and we have to what? We have to devise a constructive way of making the insurance companies, the insurance adjusters understand that, right? So that we can make sure that we get
to the best of our ability.
All right, to the best of our ability, right? But at the end of the day, I mean, this is a huge challenge. Now you couple that with things like the human element, right? Or you just said you're fortunate enough about that you have a good crew and they seem to stay with you. But you would agree that's a major challenge.
I don't have a good crew. I have the best crew.
Oh, the best. All right. Well, we like to hear that here, Crash Course Radio. The best, folks. But you would agree that this is a huge challenge, right? As an industry, setting aside our own individual.
There's not a lot of new young minds coming into it, which is unfortunate.
Right.
But I was fortunate to have a couple of guys who are younger coming into it, and
great.
They're showing a lot of promise, and we're investing in them, and doing what we have to do to create a future for the business.
So you have like a process where these folks can come on board, and you can bring them along. Like it's kind of like, I guess, like a learning pyramid, where they come in one position, they have the ability to move into some other.
Yeah, it's funny. I've been talking about this with a couple other guys. The day of being one person is over. Everybody wears many hats.
That's true.
You gotta allow for somebody to grow within it, because you never know. I mean, you're sanding a car one day for how many years, and all of a sudden you want to do something else.
Right.
You gotta let it. You gotta let it happen.
Right. So a lot of cross training.
Yeah, 100%.
Right. Everybody's got to learn a little about everybody else so that they can stand in the shoes of the next guy.
100%.
Right. So specialization's kind of gone by the wayside, would you say, now, with the way things are? And you're giving everybody a taste of everything.
Depending on the size of the shop. Yeah.
Okay.
If your shop warrants that, a specific type of person to work there, then you can focus on that. But most of the independent shops that are on Long Island right now, I don't think they have the facilities and/or.
Right. I don't either. Right. And it's also it's also about the willpower, right? I mentioned that earlier, right? It's also the will to want to do these things.
Yeah.
Okay, because that's a big part of it. It's one thing to
it's a massive part of it.
It's a massive part of it, right? Because it's one thing to sit there and say, Yeah, that is a problem. I mean, and this is, and you would agree, this is, folks. This. Me and Steve are talking about this, in a humorous way, but a lot of guys will stand there and they'll wring their hands over this. Oh, it's horrible. We can't get anybody to work. We can't get anybody to do this. But like you just said, dude,
train from within.
Train from within, right? It's no different than corporate America, where you and I worked as well, right? You need to develop a program.
As long as you take care of you guys,
right?
They'll take care of you.
Correct, folks, and that's a very important point again. Right, so what Steve is saying is he's investing in his people. Right, I stress that here. Right, and that's a big aspect of Collision Service Network. If you go to collisionservicenetwork.com, you'll know that's one of our pinnacle points. All right, that our body shops. All right, they embrace things like integrity, okay, and goodwill. All right, but more importantly, what Steve's talking about is investment in the human. Okay, the human. What we like to say that you have. Yeah, in business, you have different characteristics, right? Different things that you look at. Well, the human part of the business is just as important, right? If you don't have good people, you could have dynamite equipment, but if you don't have people that are willing or able to handle it,
yeah.
Right? Exactly.
That's
then,
the point.
Right, you might as well be a one-man show there. Hey, folks, looks like we're getting to the end of the segment. Steve, thank you very much. Once again, let the folks know how they can get a hold of you. Thriftway Autobody.
Yep. You can call Steve, Chris, or Linda at Thriftway Autobody, 631-226-1160. We're located in the village of Lyndhurst, 10 Auburn Street, right off Wellwood Avenue.
All right. Thank you very much, Steve, for joining us here this afternoon. And, of course, folks, you can find Thriftway Autobody at collisionservicenetwork.com. Hey, everybody, have a great week. All right. Drive safe. All right. And we will be back at it next Tuesday. Don't forget, you can hear the show again Sunday afternoons now, all right, on 103.9. Hey, everybody have a great day and a great week.